Okay, fantastic. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another session of hashtag TBTT, Tax Boss Talk Thursdays, where each and every Thursdays I am right here on Instagram / YouTube to talk everything tax business. Okay, so if you are an aspiring tax professional or you are an established tax professional, it does not matter, because what I do as a tax business coach is I help develop individuals into business owners by helping them start, build, and scale profitable tax businesses. Okay, and so each and every Thursday we talk, like I said, everything tax business, and I'm like super hot. I don't know if it's this light or whatnot, but if y'all see me sweating, whatever. Okay, that's why I have my little water right here. So this month, and of course my name is Tatiani Favors, for those of you all who don't know. We're going to jump right in today. I want to get in and get out real quick. I am actually going live an hour later than I normally go live, just to see who's all here live, if my views go up or down. You know, I just like to do different things to see who I can contact at a later time, earlier time, see where y'all at with it. But okay, this month, if you've been following me, if you are on my if you are on my email list, if you've been listening to my last few lives or whatnot, you know that June's theme is all about planning. We've been talking about planning your tax business, planning your success, how it is very important to plan how this rest of the year is going to go as we prepare for the upcoming tax season. And not only preparing for January, okay, but preparing for quarter 4, October, November, December, which is prime time marketing for tax professionals leading up to the upcoming tax season. Okay, so it's not all about planning for January. We want to plan for quarter 4 as well. So that's why we do that in June. Next month, okay, we'll be focused on actual marketing, okay? But we are focused on planning this month so you can understand what your steps are for the rest of this year, for the remainder of this year. Because if you start the planning phase in October, November, you're already behind. You are already behind. Especially if you're going up against my students in Tax Boss Academy and my people, because we plan now for later, okay? I really want y'all to understand that. So we've been talking about business plans. We've been talking about planning. Today, I want to talk about identifying your financial goals, okay? And how, once you identify your financial goals, how it really drives your tax business decisions. It drives your business decisions. And you want to know what drives your business decisions because, you want to know what business decisions you have to make so you can add it to your business plan, so you can incorporate that. As the CEO of your business, you want to make sure that you're thinking intentionally and thoughtfully at all times. And in order to do that, you have to be equipped with, okay, here are the decisions that I actually have to make. And not only the decisions that you have to make, but in a timely manner. Sometimes, and when I say sometimes, I mean pretty much all the time, as the CEO of your tax business, you have to understand the timeline of things. Okay, this needs to be done by September. So I need to make this decision by August, so that'll give me time to come up with the plan on how I'm going to launch in September. Or I need to hire tax preparers. Like, let's even talk about the hiring process. I need to hire tax preparers at the latest, and this is just an example, at the latest October, because I have to have time to train them. They need time to get familiar with the software that I use. Hiring someone in November and December might be a little bit too late. It might require me to exert more effort than what I really want. to do. So I'm going to start the vetting process and do everything before I actually hire the person now, because by October I want to already have the person in training. Okay, so you have to be very mindful of even the timeline of certain business decisions. But the first thing that really kicks off of what drives your business decisions is your financial goals, believe it or not. How much money do you want to make during the upcoming tax season? And don't say more than I did last year. Don't say a lot. Don't say broad words like that. I want you to actually put a number by it. Do you want to make $50,000? Do you want to make 105? Do you want to make 95? Do you want to make $30,000? Like, put a number exactly how much you want to make for the upcoming tax season. Why? Because it does a few things. First of all, setting your financial goal is the first step of financial planning, and it acts as a roadmap to achieving your financial success. You want to meet your financial goal, you have to know what it is. You have to know what you're striving for. But also, it also identifies the level of effort on your part that is required, both you personally and professionally, for you to reach that number. So let me give y'all an example. Y'all can get a pad and a pen if you want. I'm going to give you an example with easy math and easy numbers, because I'm not finna be sitting here like, where's my calculator? So easy math, easy number example coming at you now. So let's say this is your scenario, and I want you all to take this scenario I'm finna give you, and you just enter in whatever your financial goal is. This is how you determine the level of effort that it's going to take on your part to actually reach your financial goal, okay? So this is what I want you all to do. Listen to this example. So let's say that you want to make six figures, and let's define six figures. Let's say you want to gross $100,000 during the upcoming tax season, right? You want to gross $100,000. Okay. Let's break that down to, okay, how many clients do you need? If you want to gross $100,000, let's say your average price for each tax return is $200, right? So you want to gross $100,000. Your prices are $200 per tax return. That means you have to get you have to prepare 500 tax returns to gross $100,000 during the tax season, okay? So now, again, you will plug in your numbers. I use $100,000 as the financial goal. You use whatever your financial goal is. I use $200 as the price of your tax return. You use whatever your price is. And I use 200, like I said, for easiness of math. But in all actuality, your base price shouldn't be lower than like $250. Okay, that's another live, but just throwing that out there. But you will put your price in there, and then you would do that math to equal the number of clients that you need to make that amount of money. And this example is 500. So now, what do we do with that information? What do we do with 500 clients? Now that we have 500 clients, there's a few things, and this is how your financial goals drive business decisions, okay? So first of all, let's rewind. Once you set your goals, your financial goals, whatever that is, I use $100,000 in this example. Yours could be higher or lower. Then, in order to really get the math as accurate as possible, you have to really set your rates. What are your prices? How much are you charging per tax return? And of course, there are a few different pricing methods. I talk about this in Tax Boss Academy extensively. There are a few different pricing methods that you can charge. You can charge by the form, by the hour, a tiered system. There are a few different ways. No ways are bad or good. It's just what works best for your company. Okay. But I will say have a base fee. And a base fee is if someone comes to your tax office with one W-2, no dependents, not married, they're single, just one W-2, what is the least amount of money they're going to be paying you, right? I say it shouldn't be less than $250. I'll probably raise that for the upcoming tax season because that's still a little low, but I understand that raising your prices for a lot of you is a limiting belief. So that's another live. But $250. Okay, and I gave example of $200 being your base price, your price per tax return. So in order to really identify what your effort is going to be, you need to set your rates. What are your prices? At least know the base price, the least amount of money someone will pay you for tax prep services. Once you have that base price, then you can properly do this math so you can figure out, okay, how many clients am I shooting for? Now, of course, in my example, the amount of clients equated to 500 clients. But of course, if I'm doing business returns, 1120s C Corps, 1120S S Corps, 1065 partnerships, those type of business returns, then those are way more than $200. I don't suggest that you do those type of business returns any less than $850. But really about $1,000 now, because $850, I've been saying that for maybe a couple years. So with inflation, we're at $1,000. Okay. But what I'm saying is if you're doing more corporate clients, then of course, instead of having 500 clients, maybe you now need 400 clients to reach your goal, or just a less amount of clientele. However, and so you'll have those variances for sure, but you want to have that base price per tax return. How much is the least, if someone comes to you, what is the least amount of money they will pay you for tax prep services? That will be your base price, and that's the number you want to use to determine how many clients you need to reach your financial goals, okay? So let's go with the example again. We did the math. We said we need 500 clients at $200 per tax return would equal $100,000 for your financial goal, for your income during the upcoming tax season. So 500 clients. So now, what do we do with this 500 clients? What do we do with this information? A lot. First of all, we think to ourselves, okay, how many clients do I have now? And 500 clients sounds like a lot. How am I going to get 500 clients? How am I going to get 500 clients to come to my website, to schedule a call with me, to book me for tax prep services? How am I going to access these 500 clients? Okay. And of course, if you need 500 clients, that means that you actually need to be exposed to much more, because you're only getting a percentage of the audience that you are actually exposed to will become your client. So if you need 500 clients, then that means you actually need to be exposed to at least, what's that math? At least 1,500, I believe. Whatever, I'm not going to do this math with y'all. But you need to be exposed to much more. Typically, you get 10% of the audience you are exposed to. So what's that? 5,000. You need to get in front of 5,000 people to get 500 clients, right? How are you going to do that? And so there are many ways. So the second thing is determining your marketing. Okay, you probably need to ramp up your marketing. This is how I say financial goals drive your business decisions. Okay, what does marketing look like? How can you ramp up your marketing? What does that mean? You can increase your ad spend, or even start doing sponsored posts, boosted posts, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads. Okay, you can also start doing influencer marketing. Go to these social media sites that has a lot of followers. Look at the engagement, because a lot of these sites who want to take your money for influencer marketing, they buy their followers, but if you look at the engagement, there's no engagement. That means that, these followers aren't real. So that's a tidbit that you can take. But you can try influencer marketing. You can try exposure. You can go on podcast tours and try to get on other people's podcasts to get more exposure for your company. But either way, and it doesn't matter what type of marketing you decide to do, whether it's in person, whether it's partnering, like it's so many different ways to market your business, but that's a business decision that you have to make as the CEO of your company. What does that look like now? How are you going to get in front of so many people? Are you going to have a freebie? Are you going to start putting on training classes, webinars, challenges? Like, what are you going to do to get in front of thousands of people so you could get your 10% of 500 people to actually give you money in return for tax prep services? So that's a business decision that you would have to make. Okay. Also, if you decide to ramp up your ads, okay, because typically you have, and I'll break the marketing down, and next week is July, but in July, we're going to be talking more about marketing. Okay, that's our July's theme. But I will say that in marketing as a whole, and we can get off of marketing for a second, either you have the money for ads and have your ads work for you, or you don't have the money for ads, then you better have some time, because then you have to build your audience organically if you decide that social media is your best bet. Now, both work. One just works quicker, of course, which is the ads, if you have the money, okay? Also, and I'll say this, and I don't want to get in too deep because I'll definitely get in this deeper next month. If you have the money and you are paying for ads, don't just throw money at ads and think immediately that you are going to have clients. Your target market has to be right. You have to target the right market that's going to that your content is even going to appeal to. So I will say that if you have to grow your clientele, your audience organically, then you definitely want to start now. You definitely want to start next month in July when we are talking about marketing. So by the time quarter 4 gets here, which I said was prime time marketing for the upcoming tax season, you want to make sure that you're building your audience over the next few months. So by the time quarter 4 gets here, then especially by the time quarter 1 gets here, which is tax season, you have your audience, okay? And they know what you do. They're comfortable with you. They're ready to go once they get their tax documents, all right? So determining your marketing spend, your marketing strategy once you identify your financial goals, okay? And so then also when you say, okay, I need to get 500 clients, okay, or prepare 500 tax returns in order to reach my financial goal of $100,000. Okay, my marketing needs to increase, but also you think about, I can't personally by myself prepare 500 tax returns in a 4.5 month period. Like, it's just not going to work. Okay, it's not going to work, especially if you have a job, especially if you have kids, especially if you're a human who needs to sleep. Okay, you're not preparing 500 tax returns by yourself in 4.5 months. You're not. So now the business decision is, I need help. I probably need another tax preparer. I need to hire someone else. So what does that look like? And there are a few options there. You can either hire someone, okay, pay them hourly, or it can be an eat what you kill type situation, or you can partner with someone, okay? There are so many ways on getting the help that you need for your business to be able to handle the amount of clients that you will be bringing in, or the amount of clients that you need to reach your financial goals. So deciding to hire a staff, if you're going to, and if you are, when you are going to, is another business decision that now is a result of identifying your financial goal. Okay? The third and final business decision that it directly as a result of identifying your financial goal that I'll talk about today is, can your business as it is right now, can your tax business as it is right today even handle a significant influx of tax clients? Can your business handle 5x, 10x more clients than you have today? Can it successfully even handle an influx of clients? And I ask this because a lot of people always say, I want to increase my clientele. I want more clients. I want more clients. But they can't handle the clientele. They cannot handle the influx. You don't have the people in place. You don't have the systems in place. You don't have the automations in place. Considering how your business is now with your existing SOPs, which is standard operating procedures, with your existing systems, with your existing team or lack thereof, could you even handle 500 clients if you were to get them today? Okay? Without customer service decreasing, without people slipping through the cracks, without your health significantly declining. Okay? And keep it funky with yourself. Like, don't say, yeah, I can handle it just to puff up your chest. Like, this is a conversation between you and you, a one-of-one conversation. And if the answer is no, then here's another business decision that you have to add to your list of CEO duties, which is, okay, how can I prepare my tax business to even be ready for 500 clients? So we're looking at teams, okay, building a team. And when I say building a team, a lot of people say, you think immediately I'm talking about a team of 10 people or a team of 8. You can have a team of 2. You can have a team of 3, okay? I'm in that phase where I am very interested in making multi-million dollars with like 8 people or less. And 8 people, that's including like me outsourcing people. I really want to do it with like 5 full-time people or less. Like, I used to want a big team and everything, but the bigger your team is, the bigger your overhead is. And I do payroll. I know what that looks like. I know what it's like to pay FICA taxes on behalf of someone else and have to file all these 941s and 940s quarterly and send them to federal and state. And I want a small team, a small yet mighty team, okay? But that's me. You might want a big team. That's great, whatever. But what I'm telling you is you don't need a big team to be effective, okay? You don't need a big team to be effective at all. So when I say team, you can have a team of 2, you can have a team of 3, and y'all can ball it out. Y'all can grind it out. That's definitely something that is attainable. So just want to throw that tidbit in there. But will you hire staff? What does that look like? Can your business handle an influx of clients? So now you're looking at getting your business ready for that type of clientele. So like I said, that's hiring staff. That's also looking at your systems and SOPs. I'm a firm believer that you should have a standard operating procedure for every aspect of your tax business. I talk about that in depth in the scale phase, which is the final phase of Tax Boss Academy. Okay, we go over automations, creating your systems and SOPs, and hiring a team, because those are the things that's going to really scale your business once you've built a strong foundation for your tax business. So those are the things that I'm talking about when we're talking about, can you handle the influx? What are your processes? What's your client journey like? When from the time someone comes into contact with your tax business, whether it's in person, a networking event, on social media, your website, all the way to when you file their tax return and you get paid for the services. What are those steps in between? It needs to be identical for every single tax client that you have, every single tax client that you are processing. It needs to be identical. Okay, so those are the things that I want you all to consider, but it all first starts with you identifying what your financial goal is. How much money do you want to make this upcoming tax season? And put a number by it. A lot is not a number. More than I'm making now is not a number. Put a number by it, okay? If y'all don't have any questions, and I'll wait a few seconds because I know it might be a lag, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Definitely check out my stories, because in my stories I have a poll going on. So check out my stories, vote on the poll. I'm not going to tell you what the poll is. Just go vote on the poll. I really want to hear from y'all. I'm trying something new this year because, you know, I can. And I like entertainment, and sometimes I'm bored. So what? You know, I have to spice up my life, my entrepreneurial life sometimes. But identify your financial goals. If you're just coming in, catch the replay. I give you an example on how to identify your level of effort and the considerations that you now need to consider, okay, and decide on these business decisions that you now have to consider because you've identified your financial goals. I really want y'all to do this, and do this month before July. Okay, y'all? I'll see y'all later. Peace.